For the past year, the US government issued a policy to restrict AI chip export, especially to China and Russia. Specifically, a chip is known as a graphics processing unit or GPU because it is the fastest and most efficient way to run the calculation that allow cutting-edge AI companies to analyze enormous amounts of data. And now, the US government has restricted sales of high-performance compute GPUs to the Middle East and some other countries. What happened behind this issue? Let's talk about it. After searching AI earlier this year like ChatGPT and many website generators, the demand for GPU continues rising. Not only in AI field need as much as GPU, but this graphics card also powers many services like social media companies to run and analyze big data. But in this market, only two manufacturers can provide GPU for AI and data centers, NVIDIA and AMD. Unfortunately, the US government seems to be worried about the development of AI in many countries, especially in China, where many big tech companies and social media operate from there. Even one of the biggest social media, TikTok by ByteDance, growing exponentially in US people. So they take the policy of restricting chip export due to national interest. But the impact of this restriction makes the tech giant companies from China like Tencent, Baidu, Alibaba, and ByteDance hard to get those GPU, whereas the GPU needs are very important to support their services and future research and development. The specific hardware, the US administration decided to require an export license on NVIDIA A100 and H100 products and servers on their base to thwart China's AI development. This means that the NVIDIA A100 and H100 are the most recent and the most powerful GPUs for running AI tasks. Instead, the US still allows NVIDIA to sell the A800 GPU, which is from the previous generation, and the speed is below the A100 and H100. A new report states that Alibaba, Baidu, ByteDance, and Tencent have collectively placed orders for 100,000 NVIDIA A800 GPU, spending around $1 billion. The A800 card is the Ampere-based A100 processor, a stripped-down version of the 3-year-old GPU technology that NVIDIA cooked up for Chinese customers after Washington imposed strict limitation on the GPU interconnection speeds. The US administration has a specific limit for the GPU that is allowed to export, and the two GPUs before had speed above the limit that is allowed to export. According to rumor that aforementioned companies also placed further orders for NVIDIA GPUs for an additional $4 billion. These new chips will be delivered next year, but there are no additional indication about what GPU models have been processed. During the second quarter of fiscal year 2024, the US government informed us of an additional licensing requirement for subset of A100 and H100 products destined to certain customers and other regions, including some countries in the Middle East. A statement by NVIDIA reads, "We have sold alternative products in China not subject to the license requirements, such as our A800 or H800 offerings. The affected chips, namely the H100 and A100 models, are already restricted for sale in China and Russia, which is why NVIDIA has developed H800 and A800 models with reduced performance to sell in China." Although NVIDIA disclosed this new limitation in a US regulatory filing, the company did not reveal which countries in the Middle East are impacted explicitly by these controls. Saudi Arabia and the United Emirates Arab have been strengthened their AI powers in recent years, which is why they are significant purchasers of NVIDIA's chips. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have been in talks with China to deepen their collaboration. Furthermore, Saudi Arabia even entered a strategic alliance with China, committing to work collaboratively on artificial intelligence project. Now, the US government is concerned that NVIDIA's A100 and H100 compute GPU could be diverted to China from customers in the Middle East. The US is also worried about Chinese companies training AI models overseas due to a domestic shortage of top AI GPUs and bringing the technology back to China. Despite the new restriction, NVIDIA stated that the licensing requirement does not significantly impact its revenue, and the company is working with the US government to address the issue. So thank you for watching this video. See you in another time.